All right, we're live.
Yay.
Hello, internet world.
Hello.
Hello. Anybody watching this on the back play? Welcome to the fifth meeting.
Don't get up there.
Yeah. Of the Black Hat Book Coven live show.
Come here.
Super fun times. Kristen's not going to be here. She is sadly not feeling well. She's got back from Paris. So she needs some time to recuperate. So it'll just be us three. So, yay. I'll try to keep up with comments. I don't know how well I'm going to do about it, but you know how that works. So, okay. So, for anybody who's on the back and watching this later on, I'm going to go around and introduce ourselves because some people might find us every once in a while. I don't know. I'm Jackie. I'm for First Lady Reads, and this month's book pick was mine, which was A Resistance of Witches by Morgan Ryan. Who's next?
I'm Becky from Bex Reads. I read the book.
Okay. Starting off strong, guys.
Yay. I'm Laura. I guess still from Cozy Side Quest. And I also read the book.
Yay.
I do know that Kristen read the book too. She did message us and said that she did read the book and she gave it a 4 stars. So already pretty proud of that. So I do have questions.
I also gave it 4 stars, just FYI.
All right. Well, the first question is, what did you give it, and a brief kind of how you felt about it. So Becky, you got the floor. Let's go for it.
I gave it 4 stars. I liked it. It was a different type of witchy abilities, and I wasn't too sure of it at first because it was a real slow beginning for me. But once you got into the action of it all, I enjoyed it. I liked the friendships. There were some twists I didn't see coming. That's it.
Laura, how do you feel?
I gave it 5 stars.
Okay, for people who are wondering why I'm excited, is Laura doesn't like historical fiction. And this is another month where we have surprised each other with our ratings of books. So, yeah. Laura, you may continue.
Okay, I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. It was sitting at a 4 star for me for most of the book. I was surprised, honestly, by how much I was enjoying it. I think I was taken in initially by the witchcraft of it all. And then there was just the ending scenes really made me emotional and had me crying hysterically. So yeah, I loved it. I gave it 5 stars.
Yes.
What'd you give it, Jackie?
I gave it a solid 4 star. Gave it a solid 4 star. How slow it was in the beginning kind of bothered me because I was like, man, this is getting it wasn't slow, but it was slow because some major crap happened, but we didn't really do anything about it. And it was like, we're going to go back to being really slow. You know what I mean? Because we all read it. We all know what happened in the very beginning. I'm going to try not to do the spoiler because there's some really good twists in it, but it probably will get spoiled. So just be warned. People watching, you're probably getting spoiled for this book. But I will try my damnedest to not be the one that does it. So, but in the beginning, there was some major action, what? And then it just goes like this. And it just kind of stays that way for a large amount of time. And I'm like, this is annoying. But then it ramps up and it starts to get really good. So I had a really good time with it. When I was reading it, I didn't want to stop. I literally read this over the last 2 days. Mm-hmm. It was a 2-day read. So
yeah, it took me less than 24 hours to read it. Granted, I was listening to that sucker on 2.5 times speed because the narrator was, I don't know, when she was on 2 times speed, it was just it wasn't fast enough for my brain. So I was like, let's speed this up.
How was the audiobook?
I liked it. I thought she did a good job of narrating it. I felt like she gave the characters pretty distinct voices.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
was
I think
she English?
Did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah, she had like an English accent. Yeah.
I was
And
curious.
the other accents, so she used like French accents
Yeah.
for some of the characters, and
Okay.
or German accents for the German witch.
Yeah.
And so it was actually done really well.
Nice. Nice. All right. Well, that was the first question, guys. The let's see what I got here. Okay, so we were introduced to different types of witch powers. We have like a projectionist, we have a force, what they call the force traveler. We also saw a healer, and we saw a glamorer. Those are the big ones that we saw. If you could choose what type of witch you'd be out of the ones that you saw in the book, which one would you guys go for?
Definitely Traveler.
Yeah.
You know how useful of a power that would be?
Yeah.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
you could just be anywhere.
Yup.
Yeah.
I liked that, and I liked like the glamour,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd
Yeah.
definitely go with the traveler too.
I definitely go with the traveler. I just like pop in and pop out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Easy. What I thought was really cool is that she was like the one power where she didn't actually have to know where she was going. Like, she never really got clear. Like, it wasn't like she had to have been there before to be able to travel back to it. You know what I mean? Everyone else was, I had to have touched you to follow it, the object or something like that. It was always, there was some thing else, condition that had to be placed before they could actually use the power. So that was actually kind of neat.
Yeah, I thought this book had like really different witchy abilities to it than some of the other books that we've read.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting.
I enjoyed them. That was fun.
What is happening? Oh, is that Titty scratching something?
Yes.
I was trying to figure out like which, like it was not my house, but it was somebody's. So I was like,
She is
Yeah.
kneading the carpet.
Okay.
Okay. So the balance of history and paranormal. Would you recommend this to someone who does not like historical fiction novels?
I feel like I'm the best
Yeah, go for it, Laura.
example of yes. I don't like historical fiction, and this had enough
But she
of a
scores every
focus.
single one of them high.
I don't. But this had enough of a focus on the magic and the paranormal aspects to make it enjoyable for someone who doesn't enjoy historical fiction. Also, should I say, like, yes, I've enjoyed historical fiction in the past, but I hate wartime stories. I hate them. I hate being set during a war, in the midst of a war, if it's not a fantastical war. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I had no problem with this being set whence it was during World War II. So I think I would definitely recommend it to someone who doesn't like historical fiction.
Would you recommend it to someone who doesn't like paranormal?
No.
Okay. Is the balance that it's that off-putting on the balance?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you,
I
Becky?
mean, I would recommend it to anybody, really.
Okay.
I'd be like, you don't like paranormal? Just give it a fuck try. It might surprise you. Definitely, I think I agree with Laura on the historical, because while it is, you can obviously tell it's set during World War II. I feel like if you took out that element, and you could plop it into any time period, really, and it would have, bad versus good.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, obviously they were trying to get a book to like stop the Nazis from getting it or whatever. But I felt like that it wasn't too historical in scope. Other than like the vibes of it, you could tell like they lived in a historical time period. But you could have set this in a fantasy world, quite honestly, and changed out Nazis
easy.
for any other one, and it would have made just as much sense.
Oh yeah, this would easily adapt to a fantasy area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I do agree with Laura more that I would not recommend this to someone who doesn't like paranormal, because I feel like the balance is definitely, it's not balanced. It's definitely, it's weighted heavier on one side than the other. So I do agree with that one. But historical fiction, yeah, I would totally, I as a historical fiction person, I enjoyed it. Someone who only reads historical fiction, I would probably warn them and be like, hey, yeah, it's historical fiction, but it's very low on the historical fiction
Yeah, you're
side.
not really going to get a lot of like historical
Exactly.
tidbits within the
Yeah.
story.
Like if they would have seen Hitler or they would have like entered a battlefield or something, I think it would have ramped it up. But the only main character that really had historical significance was Churchill. So, and he was what, 2 pages? Yeah.
What just
Becky's throwing shit.
Sorry.
Becky is throwing stuff.
I'm trying to pass attention.
Okay, so not to spoil anything, so don't spoil it, but the traitor among the ranks, did you see who it was before you found out?
No. But I'm
You
not
know.
great at spotting those clues, so.
I didn't
I'm
think
not
it was
always. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
I was just gonna say I'm not always great at seeing those things, but usually I am. And I feel like we couldn't have seen that. Like it was just so, yeah, it was
I
such a
understand that
shock.
one coming. No, I didn't think it was the girl that she thought it was. I never thought it was her because it was automatically going to that one, and it was too set up too easy for her. I'm like, really? I feel like she's a red herring at this point. So I'm not going to buy this, but I did not see it being that one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn.
I feel like if I reread it, knowing what I know, there might have been like some clue.
Because I even went back to the very beginning when the first major event happened, because she does make an appearance. I'm like, did she do anything when it happened? Like, did she? Yeah, she did some shit. She did. And that just like threw me. I was like, wow, you legit made this bitch evil. Like, legit. That was awesome. So I like that part, but I did not guess her
Nope,
at all.
me neither.
She hit her very well.
Yeah.
So the character of Henry, our little male interest.
I loved him.
Okay. Why?
He was just so sweet.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
He was just so sweet.
What about you, Laura?
I loved him. More so, I loved what he represented as far as there's a lot of discourse in here about types of magic, and maybe it's really subtle, but like we have the main character. What was her name? Lydia?
Lydia, yeah.
Lydia, who like went to the academy and has learned proper magic and, you know, has studied and has been taught, like formally taught magic. And then we have Henry, who is clearly also a practitioner. He's able to see the dead. He's from New Orleans and deals with a different type of magic, which is more conjure. And then we had Lydia's mother, who was never formally trained, but is arguably the most powerful witch in the book. And so I loved seeing the comparison and the juxtaposition of different types of cultural magic, and how it was all used and accepted and appreciated. So Henry was great as a person, but I think also what he represented was great too. Similarly with Rebecca, who was the Jew, you know, like she was kind of a representation of an ideal or idea. So I kind of like the way the author did that.
Yeah, I agree. I liked Henry. The whole question was what was his strengths and weaknesses, but I was kind of letting you guys go because it's kind of where we're going. I really liked what he represented as, you know, like the other side magic. Like that's kind of how I referenced it, is that it, you know, it's not like I don't know how to explain it, because it wasn't taught to him. It was just something that occurred with him. It was part of his DNA. I don't think it's something that he could have learned. It's just something he had to be born with in his family lineage and everything. But I felt that he wasn't utilized to the point that he could have been. So I felt like anybody could have been put in his spot and given his powers, and it would have been fine. Why specifically did they use the character of an American black male too during World War II? Like that was never really, it was mentioned on his end. He's like, we don't really get along. And I'm like, okay, you didn't really get along over there either. So I really wish that would have been more reflected, especially when that romance kind of started. I feel like he was underutilized in adding a lot more layers of drama in the story.
Well, I feel like specifically he had to be an American black man from New Orleans because that was his cultural magic. So we're dealing with conjure and voodoo,
Okay.
and that type of magic was represented in him. So that is cultural magic. That is like closed practice. That is his family lineage. When we think about the type of practitioners that are from New Orleans and what they went through and the magic that was created because of their circumstances and what they went through.
Okay.
So that's kind of, and his particular magic of talking to the dead, and even the moment where he saw Papa Legba, that he was chasing after in the story, like all of that was his cultural magic. So his communing with the dead, you couldn't have put someone else in that position because that's not their practice. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, the witchcraft area makes sense. It's
Okay.
the political surrounding and the societal surrounding. They made that. And I'm like, but you didn't do anything with it. Like it made sense for the witchcraft, but it's like, especially when the romance formed in World War II, that wasn't accepted. Stupid that it wasn't, but it wasn't. So it's like, are we going to do anything with this? Are we going to do anything with this? Nope. We're just going to let this issue just exist. Okay. So, but they had all these other issues that existed back then and they brought light to them. So that's was like, I feel like either the author forgot about that point, or it was a level that she didn't feel comfortable writing with, but she made a point to state it. You know what I mean? Is that making sense? Am I even making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because she did that another time with Rebecca when she ran into her friend. What was her friend's name? Is it Claire? Chloe? It was right after she got shot, and she went and she's like, I didn't have anywhere else to go. It's the one who actually owns the car.
Yeah, I think it was Claire. I don't remember exactly her name.
Yeah. But they made a brief lines like, well, this is how we looked at when we were lovers. Okay. Are we just going to drop this? We're not going to talk about this at all.
Well, I think it didn't need to be talked about. Like we're obviously all focused on a particular thing, but the author is making it known that all of these issues are there and existed, and in spite all of these issues that are there and existed, like there's another focus right now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get that. But then they have, in Rebecca's case, the guys that she was working with, they made jokes about. They're like, oh, totally won that bet. Called that one. Oh, that explains a lot. They referenced this tension between them because they had like this unfounded relationship, or they did, and it didn't work out. And it's like, she brought in aspects that I wish she would have explored. I would not have minded this book being longer exploring some of those aspects, because I feel like it would have added a lot more dimension to the story, because these two characters were very pertinent to Lydia's success. And these were part of their stories, and we only got bits and pieces of those stories, when I feel like they helped define who they were as characters. So we needed more of them. Does that make sense? I feel like their backstories were underutilized, but they were just thrown out there for why.
Yeah, I get that. At the same time, I also get, like, from a plot perspective, why she didn't go into as much detail with their backstories. I don't think that there would have been time for it with the story she was writing. But like, yeah, I get that it would have been nice to get more detail on them. I I feel like the characters themselves, like not necessarily Lydia, although sometimes Lydia too, but Rebecca and Henry, they both like weren't fully fleshed out, mostly because of like, I don't know if it was time or if it was just like they were not fully fleshed out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt that feeling a lot. Towards the
Yeah.
end, not so much, but in the beginning, I was like, I need more. Like, you're just, oh, he can see dead people. Okay, that's cool. Like, what? It felt like she dropped the ball on that's why one reason why the book didn't get 5 stars is because I felt like she gave us such really awesome side characters, but she utilized them in the main plot story, fantastic, but they had their own stories and they weren't utilized with that. And
Yeah.
I think she could have tied all three of them together. I think she had the chops to do it, but she didn't.
One of the reasons it got 4 stars for me is because I didn't like have a strong connection for any of the characters.
Okay.
I liked Henry and I liked Rebecca's as side characters, but I definitely agree. I feel like I liked that they were brought up in the story and a reflection of like when most people who don't know World War II history, they just think it was the Jews and all that, but it wasn't. You know, it was Black people, it was gay people, it was disabled people, and all that. So I like that she brought those aspects into the story for the characters, but she didn't write enough of their backstory or give me enough emotion on their end for me to really connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even feel all that connected with like Lydia. I mean, at the end with her mom, I felt a little bit more of a connection. I was like, oh, heart.
Yeah, that's when I started feeling it for Lydia
But for most of the book, I was just like, okay, this is a good story. I'm liking it, but I didn't like feel any. I didn't feel anything.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I think like when I rated this book overall, the characters got the least amount of points compared to everything else. You know what I mean? So the characters for me, and that's unusual for me because usually when I love something, it's because of the characters. But it's kind of like the last book we read, The Book Witch, where it's like the character, I won't remember necessarily years from now, but it was the experience of reading it. And that's how this book was for me. It was like the experience of reading it, and more so than the characters, what the characters each represented.
That makes sense.
So the next question was basically about Rebecca, but we kind of already covered her, so I went from Henry to Rebecca. So this next one is, who was your favorite character and why, if you even had one?
Henry. I just really liked Henry, even though I didn't like get enough of him. I liked his ability. I liked his backstory. I liked how sweet he was. I liked the romance that developed between him and Lydia. I thought he was a good character.
But you, Laura?
Mine, Henry.
Henry?
It was Henry, and mostly because I kind of felt like saw a lot of myself in him, in specifically his ability, and not being bombarded, especially when we had like the flashbacks to him as a child dealing with all of these ghosts, like demanding from him, or like him just being in a situation spiritually where he didn't understand what was going on around him, or understood too much in some cases. It was the same thing. Like he talked about ghosts exposing themselves in front of him and stuff, things like that. So like that kind of, without going into it, really personally reflected kind of my experience growing up with spiritual gifts and not really understanding how to control it or suppress it. So it was that more than anything, but also Henry, I just thought was a really sweet character.
I liked Fiona. She was actually my favorite. She was like the least known side character, but I liked her. She was the traveler witch. Mostly because I liked her. Because at the end of the book, when they were trying to team up, and she's like, you can't really trust her. She's like, well, you're not really giving me shit to work on, so I'm not gonna go do this unless you give me something. But here, I will help you out by telling you how I feel. Like I think she took a really big risk because Henry kind of was forced into the situation because the book was there. Rebecca was kind of forced because of the SOE. So their alignment with Lydia was kind of forced. Fiona was the only one that actually chose to deal with Lydia and all the issues. She could have stayed out of it the whole 9 yards, never had anything to do with it, but she chose to do it. So I feel like I liked her the most because she was the first one besides Lydia who had a choice to deal with the situation. And she chose to get involved knowing full well that it could be dangerous on both ends. Even though she was a very, very minute character, I liked her and I thought she was funny.
Hey, those minute characters, man, stand out.
Yep. I liked her. And I think I would have liked Kitty had I gotten more with her. But we didn't get a lot with Kitty because she got, you know. Yeah, but apparently none of us really like Lydia. Okay, let's be honest. Lydia was kind of a flat character. Out of all the characters in the book, Lydia, I feel like, had like the least dimension. You guys
Like,
feel
she
that
was
way?
fine. I liked her.
Well, like she had the most stuff to do, like magic wise, but I just feel like a lot of the stuff was out of her control because she was either casting a spell that, and somebody else was casting a counter spells that prevented her from doing anything, or she was being absorbed by this freaking book. Like she was like being directed the entire time, even, and then she got her stuff bound, and then I felt like she was just kind of, all the other characters were written with so many layers and dimensions, and she was just kind of flat. Like you had Rebecca who was like, fucking use the book and destroy it, like take the war, but you see her change, even the baddie ones, you're just like, okay, kind of makes sense. Like I see the level of dimensions here. I didn't really see as many level of dimensions of Lydia as I thought you should for the main character. I don't know, maybe I'm the only one that felt that way about her.
Mm-hmm.
Side characters.
I thought she was fine.
Yeah, I didn't have any problem with her.
Just a me thing, I guess, then.
Yeah, apparently.
Just a me thing, me being picky, apparently. Which character, if any, did you relate to the most? Laura, you already kind of answered this, so.
Yeah.
Becky.
See, that's a hard one because I really didn't relate to any of them.
That is an answer. So.
I didn't feel like connected to any of them.
Bella, it's fine.
So nobody. Rebecca.
I don't feel like I had like a strong, like I didn't see myself in any of them, like any of their plights or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Any of their hardships, any of their personalities. I don't know. I guess if you want to say Lydia was a boring character, maybe her. A very boring bitch, Jackie, who needs a lot of help from people. So. We'll go with Lydia, I guess.
Okay.
I feel like
I don't feel like I related to any of them
the
either.
kind of person who would be like at the end where she was trying to be all covert and like make the big bad think she was on her side. I don't think I could do that though.
Yeah.
I think I would be more like just fucking destroy it.
Yeah, I didn't really relate to any of them either. I don't know. I didn't feel like I related to any of the characters and what they did, but I really like Fiona because she's the only one that actually like made the choice to step into the fray. So everybody else was kind of like forced into it. She actually made the choice. She could have walked away, and she chose not to. So, okay.
What's wrong, babe?
What?
Sorry, my little kitten was meowing at me.
Oh, which one is that one?
Little kitty.
This is Bubbles. She got a bath today for the first time.
Bubbles,
She hated
that's
it.
a new one.
Who's that?
I don't think we've met Bubbles.
Oh, you haven't met Bubbles?
No.
Oh, Bubbles.
She's the floofy one with the little stubby tail.
No.
And who's that right there?
That's Wayne.
Wayne.
Yeah.
So how many cats
Give
do you now
Bubble
have,
kisses.
Laura?
7.
Laura and her babies.
Yeah.
All right. So Henry and Lydia's romance, and I use romance in quotations. Do you feel it was even relevant to the story and needed, or was just randomly thrown in there? Was it even
I mean,
necessary?
do you ever need a romance?
Yeah, I was
story?
about to say that too. I was like, do we ever really need a romance in wartime stories where people are dying left and right? No.
No.
But I think it adds like this hopeful element to it of like, even when people are dying around you, these two find love.
Why are you saying that like the guy from the movie commercials, like,
yeah.
torn down, love will find a way. Like,
That's what it is. That's exactly
Yeah.
what it is. Because anytime I read a story, even like a fantasy story where there's war, I'm like, why? Y'all can be single for 2 fucking months and not have heart eyes at each other
Oh my
and
goodness, do not
thinking
jump.
of fucking one another. Like,
You're too tiny.
people are dying left and right. Control your hormones.
Yep.
But, you know, love be love, and it gives people hope in the world.
Yeah.
I don't think it was necessary. And here's why. Because it was so minute that it was not necessary to put in there. So what's the point of even putting it in there? It
For
in the
hope,
grand scheme of things,
yeah.
it didn't even make a full percent of
Again, hope.
Hope.
yeah, like there
Hope.
wasn't any enough time with both of those characters in that kind of realm to invoke any hope. It was just more of convenience. And it's like, really? This is not fucking convenient. You are trying to find a fucking book that can end the world. So let's suck face with this dude who sees dead people. No. No.
Yes. You gotta have the love and the emotions, Jackie.
It was not necessary. was
High
amazing.
stress situations bring people together. What do they call that? Trauma
What high
bonding?
stress situation? They were fucking
Trauma
going to
bonding.
bed. They were not being attacked at that point. There was not like, oh my god.
No,
this
but you're
could be
trying
it.
to save the world, Jackie.
No.
And you have to trauma bond.
That
With
I buy. Like a
somebody.
friendship.
I
would
mean,
totally buy.
like romance is never necessary, right? In these types of stories. So are you asking, like, do we feel like they were good for each other or the romance made sense?
Yes and no. I'm
Okay.
asking like, yes. Do you think it was even plausible that this could have happened? That
Yeah.
for these two characters, which we have, but also was it even necessary to put in the book? Was it necessary for her to take time to write a whole page and a half about an almost kiss? And then
Sure.
reference it again at the end of the book saying, she needs you. Really? You've only known each other for like 2 months at this point? Like, the mom is now Ghosty mom is telling Henry that he's
The
part of family.
world is going to end, Jackie.
Like, no,
if
he
the
doesn't-
book
she
falls
doesn't need
into the
you,
wrong
she needs your
hands,
power.
and
That's what she needs.
people need to fall in love.
No, it was not. It was a waste of time.
Was it necessary?
I-
No. Was it a
No.
decent romance? Yes. It was plausible. I believed it. I thought they had
Yeah,
good
I
chemistry.
believed it. I think it worked.
I do not. I do not think they had good chemistry. As friends, yes,
I
but
did.
I think Rebecca and Henry had more of a trauma bonding than they did. They had more of a chance of success than
Like-
Lydia.
They needed to fall for each other, so in the end, he could be there to help her.
Except he wasn't. He went to America.
No, but he helped her with the ghosts.
Well, yeah, he helped her with the ghost, but I think you could have still done it as a friendship. It didn't have to be a romantic interest type thing.
he had to have that strong emotional connection to her, Jackie.
No. No. Because then he comes up, he's like, I think it's time for me to go home. And Rebecca's like, oh, I think you need to have a conversation. Give her something, Romeo. Give her what? You kissed her one freaking time. Once. And you weren't even with her for majority of the fucking book. No. That was a waste.
Yearning, Jackie, damn.
There was no yearning. If she would have wrote yearning in there, I would have appreciated it, but it wasn't.
Yearning and
when they were together, they were not thinking about each other.
You know,
it's
like the soldier who kisses the waitress before he goes off to war, and that's all either of them could think about.
But it doesn't build onto a romance. Like, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I'm supposed to feel like some kind of romantic interest in this, and then she goes back, like, I'm going to New Orleans for a little bit. And they're like, oh, tongue in cheek. No, you're fucking what? No. All right. So we briefly touched on this, but I'm going to actually directly ask the question because, Laura, you brought it up. What type of magic do you believe is stronger? The Academy or Hedge? Because, and then we also have the otherworldly voodoo element. Which of the three do you think held the most weight and power and strength in this book, at least based off what we saw?
Well, I mean, I mentioned that I think that's hard to answer because I feel like there's pros and cons to all different, right? But I feel like from what we saw in the story, Evelyn was the most powerful witch. Like, we can't deny that. She was the most powerful out of all of them. She had no formal training. She never went to the academy. She stuck with very small magics from what we could see. She read cards. She was an herbalist. Like, what else did she do? That, you know, that was it. Yeah. No, I mean, but like in her everyday life.
Yeah.
She practiced very small magics, but she had this immense amount of power behind her. So like it's a in context of the story, Evelyn was the most powerful, and she was the one that was a hedge witch.
Yes. However, with that being said, could Lydia have pulled off what she did at the end of the book without Henry's power? Because he's the one that gave her the coven of the family.
No, I don't think she could have. She would have, she would have burned herself out.
Yeah, I feel like the Academy magic is probably the lesser of all of them. Which is funny because they put such a hierarchy on it. But in grand scheme of things, they mentioned it multiple times that she wanted to learn things. They're like, no, that's fairy tale, but it's actually real.
Yeah.
You know, the Academy diluted the magic down.
Yeah, it was definitely restrictive.
Yeah.
In what they were taught.
I definitely enjoyed the life lessons versus educated lessons. Like, which one's more powerful? I kind of definitely saw that symbolism with that. So
yeah,
I enjoyed that. What do you think, Becky?
Most Academy things is like when you're learning something where somebody's teaching you what they want you to know and how you should do something, it very much limits the ideas that you can pull from. I mean, I think it's good to have somebody there to train you in a professional way, but you also need to be able to pull from different avenues of like, this is what I know from experience. This is what other people outside of this classroom have taught me, blah, blah, blah. So I think the hedge witch thing would probably have been more powerful just in the context of the story.
Yeah.
I just found that really interesting. I was like, that's kind of cool.
But then again, you have like with the hedge stuff, like she needed help from all sorts of people. Whereas with the cult people, you know, they all combined together for their little hive mind, and that gave them their power numbers, I guess.
What I found is really interesting when you talk about the basic of magic. So the hedge witch magic that we saw a lot of times in history has been attributed to trickery and tricks. So like tarot cards, it's false. They're just making it their body language they're reading. You know what I'm talking about. A lot of people have societally accepted that. And then you have the herbalist stuff where it's just kind of like, is it really witchcraft when like these things? Now, obviously, the truth powder definitely was, but like she also just did like healing solvents and stuff like that, and stuff that would like make her vomit to get all the sickness out. The Academy. Oh, my battery's about to die. I need my charger. Give me a second. I enjoy the differentiating. Blah, 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 blah. I enjoyed seeing the stigma put onto the type of magic, and then how when that stigma was kind of ripped away at the end. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. I need my laptop charger. That's what I need. There we go. Should bring my laptop charger. Okay. So this is my individual question for each one of you. Becky, who did you become, and would you have made the same choices that they made?
I was Lydia, just because I was. She was the main character, so I was her. Would I have made the same choices? No. There were a lot of times Lydia made choices, and I was like, ugh, man, I would have. I think I'm too cynical for that sometimes. I'm like, I would have just made a totally different choice.
Okay.
I'm not even going to lie and say that I probably would have joined the cult.
You would have joined the German witches?
Yeah, probably. Because I'm just like, I'm not a very selfless person.
Okay.
And like, oh, the good of humanity. I'm more of like a what's good for me type person.
Okay.
And so like if my life was at stake and I had to survive, I would do what I needed to do to survive. And I wouldn't give a shit about what other people if they survived, you know? That's saying a lot about me. But hey, that's the truth, you know. I would be like, I'm gonna do what I have to do to survive. Fuck the whole of society.
So you would have joined and just stayed. You wouldn't have, because she did join. Spoiler. Yeah, she did join, but she joined for ulterior motives. So you're saying that you wouldn't just join and
I'm somebody who I'm very easily swayed. This is why I said it wouldn't be that unrealistic for me to join a cult if the cult had benefits for me.
Okay.
Like I'm very easily swayed from one thing to the next. So if I like join the cult because hey, this is what's going to get me to survive, and then somebody came along and like, no, I'm more powerful. You'll have a better chance. I would go to them real quick too.
Okay.
Hey,
the fact that you know that about yourself prevents you from being put in situations where you have to make that kind of choice. So that's a good thing. Most people don't know that about themselves or have the guts enough to back it up. So acknowledge it. So
I'm like, if there was a cult out there who gave me everything that I needed to benefit me in life, I'd be like, hell yeah, join that cult. Unfortunately, most of them want me to do weird sex shit and
drink the Kool-Aid.
Eat human organs, and I don't want that. So, but if it was up for me to survive and somebody was like, hey, tell me you believe in this, or I'm gonna be like, yeah, sure, I believe in that.
Okay. That's okay. That's all right.
Did that answer your question? I don't even know what the question was.
It did. Okay, Laura, you ready for yours?
Yeah.
Okay. We saw a few tarot spreads read in this novel down to the actual cards that were on the playing field. So based on your knowledge of tarot cards, would you say that Evelyn's reads were accurate? or would you have read something else?
I would say they're accurate.
Okay.
That's something that I thought of while I was reading, actually, when they mentioned the specific cards, and I was like, oh. And there were some instances where I was like, would it? And then I was like, yeah, it would, because a lot of tarot is up to the interpreter and the reader, and not necessarily the traditional meanings of the cards. So the way that she read them and how she made it connect made perfect sense to me.
Okay.
So I think the author either like really did her research or maybe reads tarot herself. I don't know.
Okay. I was, as soon as I got the actual like spread layout, I was like, that's my question for Laura right there.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I knew you were doing that. I knew Laura's like,
Yes.
that's not what that says, or yeah, that's exactly
I
what it
was
says.
listen no, because I paused it and I was like, what did she say? Five of swords. I was like, okay, yes, that makes sense.
Okay.
I was
Now,
thinking, oh yeah, we're all like that aspect.
Yeah.
now, obviously, you have the benefit of knowing the outcome of those cards because you read the story. If you didn't know the outcome, do you think her read was still spot on?
Yeah.
Because obviously her read was accurate because we know the end of the story. So
Yeah.
it is. Okay. And have you ever read Tea Leaves?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I've
I don't know
tried.
anything about that. Huh?
I've
Yeah.
tried.
You tried? How'd that go?
Yeah. I had like a book, you know,
Uh-huh.
that you just buy at the store, and I drank my tea leaves and I did the little routine of swirling it and looking at it and tried to find the symbols in it.
I've never tried that. I was just curious because I've only seen it in Harry Potter. That's the only time I've ever seen it. That's the only time I've ever seen reading of tea leaves. I mean, I've seen it in books, but like physically, like somebody doing it. But again, that's acting. So, you know.
I can't remember what the hell I saw in the tea leaves or what it even meant, but I remember trying it one time.
Okay. I can't ask Kristen's question because she's not here.
We can ask it to us. Maybe we could answer it for her.
So I feel like this book was missing something. I feel like none of our witches had an animal companion.
This is true. Yeah.
If you were to insert an animal companion, who would you give it to, and what kind of companion would they have? Or
Honestly,
multiple?
I feel like Henry should have had like a ghost cat or something,
That would be
or,
cool.
or a ghost dog or something.
That would have been
A
cool.
ghost animal or something.
Yeah.
Because we only saw the one dog, and he fed the dog, and that was Papa Legba's dog. So
Some childhood pet that he may have had or something like that. I feel like that would have been cool for him to have a ghostly little dog or something.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of would have given an animal companion to Isadora that latched on to Lydia afterwards. I feel like I would have given Lydia the companion, but I would have given Isadora the companion, and it would have been an annoying cat, like a cat that hated everybody, like a stuck-up cat, and it just like, I'm gonna stick with you now because that's how it's supposed to be. And she's like, I don't want a cat, and she has to carry this cat all the way around. That's how I would have done it. But
I feel like because of the story and all of the traveling and all of the danger, I feel like a companion animal just wouldn't have been.
You would have had to have like some wild, like a hawk or something that can go off by itself and come back to you. That wasn't dependent on you for survival.
Yeah.
So, Kristen, when you're watching this, let us know who you thought should have had a companion and what animal it would have been, because we were denied an animal companion in this book. We have all these witches, but no familiars.
Yeah.
I feel like the cult probably would have sacrificed them, to be quite honest.
I know. Like that would have been
They
it.
probably would have been like,
Yeah.
didn't they do that though? Didn't they have like some? Didn't they do that?
I don't remember.
Or am I thinking of some other story? I thought they sacrificed something
There was definitely
for
not.
the blood. Was it not this one?
I mean, they cut their hands.
They use their own blood in all of the rituals.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be too far off for them to like kill a bird or something.
Hmm?
It's probably why there weren't any animals in it.
Probably. Well, those are all my questions, guys. I'm glad that I picked a decent book. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a 4, a 5, a 4, and then Kristen said she gave it a 4. So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I enjoyed
Quickly do a little average. Because I can't do math in my head.
You picked a good one.
I did. We are picking good ones this year. 4.25.
Well, not me apparently, but you guys are.
You picked some good. I liked yours.
Yeah, you're the
You
only
like
one.
yours?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which one was it? It was which one was it? It was
Namarata.
Yeah, I
Namarata.
like that. That was 5 stars for me.
Yeah, they couldn't get through it though.
Yeah, but we're twisty and dark. It's fine. Becky drinks the Kool-Aid. We've already learned this. And Laura likes baby kitty. Like soft things. We have a little bit darker edge to us. It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the next month? Isn't Kristen's pick next week?
No, it's Laura's.
It's Laura's? Okay, so then Laura, you take over.
I
What you got?
totally forgot what I picked, but I know that it
Then
is.
of Wild Hill.
Yes.
You picked
By
that? I thought
Kristen
Kristen picked that.
Mm-mm.
Okay, hold on. Let me go.
Wait.
I've got it over here. I can grab real fast.
Where is it?
Oh,
What did Kristen pick? Oh, Kristen didn't pick one
Oh, that's right.
because Lisa picked one.
Here it is.
Oh no,
Oh.
where is it?
I got it, Laura.
Okay, I need to find my copy. I don't know where it went. But yes, The Woman of Wild Hill by Kristen Miller. I'm very excited to read this because I loved another book by this author that I read. Since you have it in front of you, do you want to read this up?
Sure. A witty, spectacular, and timely tale of modern-day witches waging war on the patriarchy from fan favorite Kristen Miller, the author of The Change and Lula Dean's Little Library of Banned Books, which is the book that you liked.
The Change.
Change, okay. There are places on Earth where nature's powers gather. Girls raised there are bequeathed strange gifts. A few have abilities so dark that they fear to use them. Such a place is Wild Hill, on the tip of Long Island. For centuries, the ghost of a witch murdered by colonists claimed the beautiful and fertile Wild Hill, until a young Scottish woman with her own strange gifts arrived. Sadie Duncan was allowed to stay. 5 generations of Sadie's descendants called Wild Hill home, each generation more powerful than the last. Then, in the aftermath of a terrible tragedy, the last of the Duncans, once prophesied to be the most powerful of their kind, abandoned their ancestral home. One of them, Bridget Laguerre, moved to California and turned her dark gift into fame and fortune. Her sister Phoebe settled on a ranch in Texas, where women visit in secret for her tonics and cures. Phoebe's daughter, Sybil, has become a famous chef. Seemingly powerless Sybil has never been told of the Duncan bloodline. Now, Bridget, Phoebe, and Sybil have been brought to Wild Hill to discover their family legacy. The Old One, furious at the path mankind has taken, has chosen these 3 powerful witches to turn the tide. The Duncans will fulfill their destinies, but only if they can set aside their grievances and come together as a family.
Kind of sounds like Charmed.
I never read that book, or I never watched that show.
Yeah, 3 sisters. Well, this one's 2 sisters and a daughter, but
Yeah.
3 powerful witches.
3 powerful witches. I'm excited. I really loved The Change. It also featured 3 powerful witches. But the premise of that one is that it's these women who, previously to experiencing menopause, have not had powers, but now that they're in menopause, discovered powers, and it's so good. It's so good.
I love the acknowledgement or whatever, not the little phrase to people who find this book, whatever. I don't know what they're actually called anymore.
Dedication.
Dedication. Thank you. For the women who've died because men feared their power.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Doesn't that book have like animals on the cover?
Yes, it does. So
Do Yeah, it's got some hidden little animals in it.
Yeah, I can't really see it very well because of my lighting.
I don't know what they
But
symbolize, but maybe there'll be animals in this one.
there's a key, there's a
Ooh, there's a
butterfly, mushroom,
bird,
there's a beetle,
beetle.
bird.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's a bumblebee.
Maybe some nature magic.
Maybe.
No, Laura likes that.
Powerful, potent, heartbreakingly timely, a rallying cry. It filled me with hope and felt like a hug from my best friend. I want to give this book to every person I know. That was Aaron Craig from the New York Times bestseller.
How many pages is this book?
It is
362, maybe?
yeah, something 347.
Oh, I was so close. Let's see if I can find it. Women.
So next month I'm doing the rainbow for my gauntlet challenge, the rainbow challenge. What color do you think this one should be?
Orange.
Should it be orange or blue?
What's the spine look like? What's mostly on the spine?
They're pretty even. Just like the cover.
I don't
'Cause
know.
it's orange in the center.
I'd say orange.
I think that's the orange one.
Yay, I can borrow it from my library. Sweetness.
And then I guess so reading sprints for this book or hold on. Got the cards here. I actually have them this time.
Reading sprints are June 16th, June 15th, sorry,
Yeah.
at 6 p.m.
Right here.
on Jackie's channel.
Yep.
And the live show is June 26th at 7 p.m. on Laura's channel. Laura, you still have a channel, right?
I do.
Okay.
She's not leaving us yet.
I was like, I better ask her that.
Yeah.
So those are that.
Yeah. So another successful pick for the Black Cat Book Coven. We are like killing it with books this year, guys.
We have all.
We really are.
Yeah, and Kristen did read the books. We all four read the book again.
We read the book, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
What is happening? And Laura
Where's
gave
my
us 5
dog
stars in one of
whining?
Jackie's picks.
yeah.
Bella?
You know, maybe we're getting in the groove of what we like and don't like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who knows?
I like it. Does anybody have anything else they want to say about this bad boy?
No, it was good.
Yeah.
I think my sister-in-law said she was going to read that too. I don't know. I'll have to ask her if she read it.
You know, for coming out last year, I like it. For a debut novel on top of it, pretty strong debut for sure.
Yeah.
I know
Definitely.
Monica said she read it too and she liked it.
Yeah. Definitely somebody asked me for like debut authors that have strong first showings. This would definitely be one I would recommend for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely one of the better ones you've picked.
Yes.
I
It
say
really is.
I say with experience of picking shit.
You had one good pick, dude. Shut up.
I know. That's why I said it was a good pick.
See,
Look,
we've
you know,
yeah.
The Forgotten Witch was not bad. It's been my only pick. This is my second pick for the year. So
My
Forgotten Witch was.
I feel like my really good pick has to be coming up soon because everyone's had one so far.
We're gonna pray for this. I already think you had a good one because Inamorata was fantastic. But I'm banking I'm gonna like this one because this feels like a Jackie book too.
Yeah.
Like, I even said that when I bought it because in my book haul I'm like, this looks like a Jackie book. The book after this, I think, is that the alternate person's pick?
Yeah, it's Lisa's pick.
That does not look like a Jackie book to me.
No.
What
It
is
looks
it?
like a cozy fantasy romance.
Yeah.
Oh.
It looks like something that I'm going to listen to on audio. Oh, I can't. It's on audio. I have to listen on Kindle.
No,
Read on
it's
Kindle.
not available on audio, unfortunately.
I have to do it on Kindle.
Oh, it's not.
No,
right.
it doesn't have an audiobook.
What? Wait, what is it?
It's
Called Unspelled
yeah.
by Riel Knight.
Yeah.
So
we
But
agree.
Lisa technically has already read it and she liked it.
That's good.
So.
But then again, the last book that I thought was not going to be a Jackie book, I gave 6 stars to. So what do I fucking know? You know, I feel like my taste might be changing. I don't know, but I'm picking some real even in my personal reading, I've been going pretty strong. So I'm pretty proud of myself. So
yeah, for someone who doesn't, give out 5 stars, I feel like you've had a couple this year, haven't you?
Either I'm less picky or I'm just choosing books that I'm actually excited about reading.
So maybe you're just DNFing books you don't like.
I haven't DNF'd anything in a minute.
We'll see. Maybe you're reading books that you like.
Yep.
There you go.
All right. Anything else you want to say before I sign us off?
No.
No. Okay.
See you next.
Another successful meeting. Next time.
Yep.
We'll see you guys all later.
Till next month.
Yep. Next month. Bye.